Alright guys, so let's check out the Famitsu sales, see how things are going in Japan when it comes to video gaming and when it comes to the sales of Switch and the PlayStation 5. This is for the week of April 6th to April 12th. Let's see what's going on here. Switch 2 at 52,000, console sold, Switch Lite 10,000, OLED at 7,000, regular Switch at 3,400. The PS5 digital edition is 6,400. The regular PS5 is 1,200, and the Pro is just barely above 1,000. So far it looks like all the PlayStation consoles have only sold about 8,000. That is actually 5,000 consoles less than the previous week. The previous week they had sold, I believe, 13,000 or so systems. So yeah, that's a big drop right there in console sales for the PlayStation, and it's a big increase for the sales of the regular Nintendo Switch, because the regular Nintendo Switch right here looks like it sold about 21,000, whereas in the previous week I think it was like at 15,000. So yeah, like 6,000 extra Switch consoles were sold in this week, whereas 5,000 PlayStation 5 consoles were sold in the previous week. So here's the previous week right here. For the Switch 2, it's at 59,000. For PlayStation 5, 12,000. Then we go down to PS5 Pro, 840, and PS5, 588. Then you can see the Switch OLED, 7,000, Switch Lite, 4,800, Switch, 4,000. So yeah, they pretty much kind of like sold about 15,000 or so, maybe a little more, but yeah, 15,000 or so for the regular Switch in that previous week, but after that it sold much better. So we're starting to see the numbers go down, and yeah, obviously it probably has everything to do with that that recent price increase that PlayStation 5 had put on the PS5, or PlayStation had put on the PS5. Now I made a video recently about how I believe that the reason they increased the PlayStation 5 prices, they're probably losing money on it. They're probably losing a lot of money, and that's probably one reason why they're doing it. I think another reason they're probably doing it is because they know how stupid people are in this world, how stupid gamers are, especially idiots like RGT85 and all these other dimwits on the internet. They're putting, like right now, the PlayStation 5 Pro is $900, which is weird because the regular PlayStation 5 went from $500 to $600. So it only went up by $100, but for some reason the PlayStation 5 Pro went up by $200. And it's like, why didn't they just go from $700 to $800? I think there's a reason for that. I think it's because they're going to try to launch the PlayStation 6 maybe at $800, which is $100 less than the PlayStation 5 Pro. So people are going to be so fucking dumb. People are actually going to look at that and they're going to be like, wow, that's an amazing deal. That is so awesome. When it's really not. Okay? So I think that's what's going on here. Because right now the general consensus is that the PlayStation 6 is going to cost $1,000 or $1,200, right? That's the general consensus. So I think what they're going to do is just, fucking manipulate and trick people into thinking that, oh, look, the PlayStation 6 is a great price because, well, the PlayStation 5 Pro is $900. And then once they release the freaking PlayStation 6, they're probably going to be like, oh, by the way, we're doing a permanent price cut now on PlayStation 5 models or whatever. Or it's going to be $100 less or $200, something like that. Some BS, and people are going to be stupid enough to be like, wow, this is amazing. PlayStation cares about the gamers. It's going to be, that kind of retarded nonsense, right? That's what I'm betting. I'm betting that that's what they're going to try to do. Because these losers are getting destroyed by the Switch and Switch 2. So they have to do something to combat that. They have to do something to get PlayStation to sell more units again. They're all about the narrative, that's all what PlayStation is all about, the narrative. They're all about, they think short term, whereas Nintendo thinks long term. So I sincerely believe that's what's going to happen. And of course, they're putting all of their eggs in one basket when it comes to Grand Theft Auto. Rockstar decided, you know what, they're going to kiss PlayStation's ass, and they're going to only put their game on PlayStation and Xbox in hopes that many PC gamers are going to buy a PlayStation 5 just to play Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of idiots who do that, but there's probably going to be a lot of people who don't do that. And you know what? There's probably going to be a lot of Nintendo fans who don't care to buy a PlayStation 5 just to play GTA 6. Because you know what? I'm probably one out of tens of billions of gamers who own a Nintendo Switch console and never bothered to buy anything else just to play GTA 5. But for some reason, some people out here had this really stupid idea that, oh, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be so huge, it's probably going to destroy every video game on the market, and people are going to stop playing every other video game, which is going to lead them into crashing, and it's only going to be Rockstar Studios and GTA 6. Like, that is such a stupid prediction. That makes no sense. What makes you think that that would even happen? Like, that didn't even happen with Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh, it sold 200 million. Okay, and people were still buying other games and playing other games. And I guarantee you, there's way more people. There's a shit ton of people like myself who own a Nintendo Switch and don't care about Grand Theft Auto like that. Ridiculous to assume that no other game's going to be played once GTA 6 comes out. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Minecraft is the highest sold game in history. I mean, probably the most played, the most streamed. Or did that put the gaming industry out of business? Did that destroy every other video game out there and now people are only playing that? No, it didn't. So yeah, it's funny when people try to come up with these really stupid like trying to be bold. Oh yeah, it's gonna crash the video game. It's gonna be so big that no one plays anything else. Yeah, okay, whatever. You're just making bold statements to try to sound super smart or different or whatever, and it's not working. Anyways, yeah. Nintendo Switch is dominating PlayStation 5. I'm predicting that PlayStation's move is to trick people into getting a PlayStation 6 by maybe releasing the version of it that's going to be like a light version of it first instead of the base console. That's probably what they're going to do, but we'll see. That's the only thing they can do. I'm trying to figure out what it is their strategy is, and their strategy has always been to control the narrative and to lie and manipulate to consumers. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I will talk to you all later.